Next, we will discuss how samples are checked in at the hotline. Field teams using RadResponder will be entering in sample information in the field, and the data will sync to the main server when they have a network connection. These samples will show up in RadResponder as soon as this sync occurs. Samples dropped off at the hotline will need to be checked in and marked as received in the system. Also, information such as the contamination check and the contact dose rate will need to be entered. If using a paper chain of custody process, the sample control forms will need to be printed and the field team personnel must sign off their samples to the hotline personnel. This video will describe how this is done in RadResponder. First, samples will need to be marked as received in the system. To do this, click the Update Statuses button and choose Mark Received. Next, scan the barcodes of the samples or enter them here with the keyboard. If the sample does not exist, RadResponder will throw a warning message here. You can scan as many samples as you need to check in. When you are finished, press Save. You will see now that the status transitioned on those samples from collected, transit hotline, to received, storage. Next, we must record the results of the sample screening or contamination measurements of the samples. A radiological control technician, or RCT, will perform a swipe of the sample package and count it. They will relay the information to you if it is contaminated or not and what the reading is. Furthermore, a contact dose rate should be taken at the hotline and recorded for the sample. Finally, the sample control form should be printed for each sample. Find the sample using the quick search by scanning the barcode or entering it. Press the plus icon to drill into the sample. Press the Edit button. Fill in any information including the sample weight, contamination check information, and contact dose rate as measured by the RCT. Don't forget to save the record when you're finished. Next, print the form by pressing the Print Sample Control Form. This generates a PDF of the form. You will notice that for most samples, this is a 2-page form. If possible, print double-sided so that there's one piece of paper for the sample control form. If you cannot print double-sided, be sure to staple the 2 pages together so they do not become detached. Have the field team personnel sign the relinquished by line and the sample control specialist sign the received by line on the sample control form. Continue this check-in process for each sample dropped off at the hotline. If there is something wrong with the sample that cannot immediately be resolved, fill out a non-conformance form. A separate video will discuss this process.